Hey, how you doing? So today's project, we're going to be finishing the Squig Hog Boy from the Beast Snagga Ork set from the 40k range from Games Workshop. So far we've built it, we've modified it slightly, primed it, painted it. Now it's time to weather it. I love this phase. Let's do it. I love this stage. This is where everything really starts to come together. Now on these armour panels, I want to give them a battered, weathered look. And I'm going to start off with some chipping. I'm going to do some quite simple chipping on this. You can do some really clever stuff, especially when you're going through multiple layers of paint. But with this particular model, I don't think it will look quite right. From a narrative point of view, is an orc really going to worry about surface preparation and priming and first, second, third coats of paint? Yeah. More likely it's going to slap it on. So I'm not going to do that today. If you want to see more advanced chipping techniques and different ways you can do it, drop a note in the comments and then we'll see what we can do. But now first of all, I'm going to use quite a rich dark brown. And this I'm going to use the tip of the brush just to give little scratches and dings where the paint's being bashed away from the armour plating. I'll do this all around the edges, but not too much. You don't want to over weather it. So the dark brown is the really old exposed parts, but also I'm going to go over again at the bottoms of all those little scratches and dings with a much brighter light rust colour. Now at the moment it doesn't look right, it doesn't look good. But the next phase is where it all starts to come together. So what I'm now going to do, I'm going to go over the whole thing with a rust wash. There are many different ones. This one is by Vallejo and I like this one. It's really nice. It's an acrylic, which means you can work it easily with water. So I'm just going to go over the whole thing and give it a couple of seconds, and then I clean my brush and load it with water, and then I kind of flood the whole area with water. Now if you go from top to bottom, it gives you that kind of streaking effect. The more you go over it with the water, then the lighter the effect, and you can get some of that background colour coming through again. You also find that the water pools towards the bases and any crevices where it would do naturally. So therefore you get that natural colour gradient coming through and it starts to look quite nice. Now all the metallics on this are basically pure paint. They're still very bright and very vibrant. Now a very easy way to bring that brightness back down again, but without losing that coloration and that kind of metallic effect, is to use a streaking grime. And this one's by AK Interactive. Then all I'm going to do is very lightly, with not a huge amount of streaking grime, just go over all of the metallic parts. It gives it a kind of aged, grungy kind of look a little bit, but without going too overboard with it. It can also give some quite nice colour changes on the metal as well. Now, I've used this trick to great effect when doing exhaust pipes, but I'm going to cover that in another video coming up soon. Now another great tool in your arsenal is like a black pin wash, which I mean is a very watery, very loose wash. Now you do not want to go over the board on this. It is not a case of outlining every single thing. What is quite good for is to put in contact shade. So that little, even in bright sunlight, you'll have a little sliver of shade where two objects come together, and that can be really useful for that. Right, so onto the base. So I want a desert theme for this one. First of all, I'm going to paint the entire thing a chocolatey brown. Now I'm going to let that dry. Now once that's dry, I'm then going to go over that with a sand colour. It's not a true dry brush, it's more of a soggy dry brush. Let's go with that. A soggy dry brush. So I'm not layering on paint, but I'm not going to do a pure dry brush either. And this means that you get that sandy colour, but you still see some of that dark brown coming through. Once again, it's not a great effect yet. So one trick I love, and I could not do without this bit of kit, it's fantastic, is the Tamiya Master Weathering Set. I have 3 different colours in this with a sponge applicator. So all you need to do is get the sponge applicator, start off with a darker brown, sponge it over your sandy colour, then use the lighter colour and do the same thing again, and then do the lightest sand colour, dust colour, and do the same thing again, and you get a really nice kind of variation in colour coming through. And both close up and on the tabletop, it looks really cool. Just to finish it off, a chocolate brown around the rim just to tidy up, and we are done. I really enjoyed this series of doing these Squig Hog boys, and I hope you did too. If you liked it, please bash that like button. If you have any comments or any ideas, please drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. As for the next project, I don't want to give too much away, but you're going to like this one. So make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out. And I'll see you there.